Hello, my name is Michael Russ. Of course, you may not know that. We've never met, and the reason we've never met is because after the golf tournament at your American Wallzone 2017 event that weekend, I was a no-show for Sunday. So Debbie now calls me Michael No-Show, which is fine because I laugh about it. It's not the name, it's not the label, it's the message, it's the wisdom that comes from someone. I don't get hung up on labels. However, I do deserve it because it was my mistake, and I'm a person who accepts full responsibility for everything that he does. I do. Ultimately, it is my responsibility, and I have forgiven myself for not making it, and see this as an opportunity to impart some information to you today that can piggyback onto what Fred was telling you at your event. And I want to start by doing that. You see, Fred was talking about vision. He was talking about having vision. And particularly, the glasses we all wear, the way we view ourselves and the world around us. And it's very, very important to understand that this view of the world is not only a culmination of all the experiences you've had in your lifetime. It's also important to know that you can change that vision. You can change the glasses that you're wearing. See, the beautiful thing about Fred, what I love the most, is that Fred is always interested in furthering himself, in educating himself, he's open to new ideas and concepts. He uses his car as a university. I think that's awesome because I'm very much the same way. What Fred and I have in common is that we never finished college. I didn't, he didn't. And that hasn't stopped us from putting ourselves out there and putting our vision forward and making ourselves successful individuals in life and also affecting the lives of other people. That is the reason why I believe Fred and I met. Now, the vision, the glasses. You see, your theme for this year, for 2017, was self-image, was image, okay? And self-image is what we're talking about. We're not talking about necessarily the image of the company, because when you project an awesome self-image, the self-image of the company is also awesome. Now, vision glasses, you can change that. This is choice. You have the power of choice. By taking the glasses you have on now and putting on new glasses, you see the world in a whole different way. This is a choice that you make in every moment. Now, what you really have to look at are the three things that Fred brought up that day, which I picked out and I really want to reiterate to you. I really want to re-emphasize. The first is why. Why you do what you do. It's important to be connected to that why. When I talk to people about connecting to their why, it's because the why is the reason why you're committed. When you wake up in the morning, the why is what gets you up, gets you going, gets you rolling. That's what it is, right? It's something you really need to understand. So I hope you've given some thought to your why since the event. The next thing, connecting to your innate gifts. You really need to know what your innate gifts are. What are they? You see, for me, I know I'm a people person. That is my gift. My gift is connecting to people in a relational way. That's what it is. Connecting to people in a relational way. I'm also a drummer. I've been a musician for 51 years. And that's another gift I have. I can also sing. I can do karaoke, but I prefer not to. I sing in the studio, backing groups, backing my buddy and his songs that he writes. I love doing that. And when I get an opportunity to, I connect with it and it grounds me. And that's the other thing that your gifts do. They help ground you. In other words, some people are good in sports. Other people are good with people. I'm not the kind of person that can sit in a room with no windows and not talk to somebody and be happy and fulfilled in what I'm doing for work. It's just not going to happen. Okay? I know for me, I would be very bored. Your innate gifts are what bring you happiness, fulfillment, and joy. When you connect with them, if they're outside of work and in work, you bring those two things together. You can transfer the awesome feelings of fulfillment and joy and happiness that you have from hunting or playing a sport of some particular kind, your relationship, your family, your faith, whatever it is. You can bring that joy to your work and help it prosper and help yourself prosper. Now, the third thing that Fred was talking about was forgiveness. which I employ every minute of the day. And I started out this talk by telling you how I had to forgive myself for something that I really did not want to do, which was miss your event. However, I will have another opportunity. Fred has been gracious enough to invite me to speak next year at 2018. So watch out, okay? Gonna knock your socks off. Now, today, forgiveness is an important thing, and I hope you've been using it since the conversation. You have to forgive yourself for things you do, the things you do wrong, the screw-ups, the mess-ups, the failures. They're not really failures. Things, if you learn something from them, there is no, from an event, there is no failure. And it's all how you perceive yourself. And your self-image involves these three things: your why, connecting with your gifts, and forgiving yourself. You have to forgive yourself all the time. I'm in a constant state of forgiveness. And when I play golf, which I really love, I am anybody who's not in a constant state of forgiveness while they play golf, which very much mirrors life, is having a frustrating game of golf. That's all there is to it. A very frustrating game, because it is one of those games where it's you against the course and the course against you. Sometimes it wins, sometimes you win. And you have to be able to forgive yourself for the things that go wrong while you're out there, so you can get into recovery mode, because that's what it's all about. It's not about what just happened, it's about what's going to happen. And that's where the next thing I'm going to tell you comes in. It's your inner conversation, okay? Self-image is all about inner conversation. And why is this the case? Because your inner conversation reinforces what you truly believe to be true about you. Okay? So, what we're talking about here is the inner conversation, also referred to as self-talk. Okay? Self-talk. Self-talk is what you think and say about you and what you are doing, not anybody else. It only has to do with you. It's what's going on in your head. And I'm going to tell you this. This conversation is going on right now. It's going on all the time. It's there whether you like it or not. So you might as well learn to manage it, control it. And when you do that, your outer world is going to change. Not only that, but your inner world will change as well. You see, when you go from I can't to I can, there's a difference there that happens, not only physiologically in the way that you stand, the way that you breathe, the confidence you have. It's also in your mind, and it's other people can see it too. You see, I've made a living on the phone as a salesman, and in the financial industry. I call myself a salesman. Really what I am is I'm a person who helps people's dreams come true. Their dream of not having to worry about their finances for their entire life. That's what I do. I give that gift to people. And I approach the business not from a sales perspective, but from a how can I help you get what you want perspective. What's beautiful about American Wallzone Supply, as it comes from Fred, is your policy book, which is really all about helping the client. It doesn't put a lot of rules and regulations in there. It's all about, okay, what satisfies the client? Because you see, there are a lot of competitors. What makes you different from your competitors is the fact that what you do is you focus on your customers, your clients, your suppliers, the people that make your business move forward, help you be successful, that help you in your livelihood. Your inner conversation is a part of all of that. Now, I got something here really interesting, okay? This is the Super Bowl. This is one of the 125 balls that was used on the field during practice for Super Bowl 30. Can't tell you what the teams were, but that was one of the balls. I won it in a raffle back when, I think it was just a year after Super Bowl 30. I love the ball, and what it reminds me of is that when people play at the highest levels, I don't care what kind of sport it is or what kind of event, and when you're competing for business at the highest level, you must consider yourselves as that kind of individual. In order to move this company forward, to keep it moving forward, you have to look at yourself as finely tuned machines, finely tuned athletes, right? So what comes to mind with this particular ball is the fact that the Patriots, who just won this year's Super Bowl for last season, they are a dynasty. And what separates a dynasty from other teams that haven't been able to achieve dynasty status? Well, one of the things is a cohesive inner conversation. You see, everybody on a Patriots team has the same thought. We're here to win. I'm a winner. Every one of them. I'm a winner. I'm a contributor. And to that, I want to say that when you're at work, you are also participating in the I can do this, I'm a winner. You see, this conversation can either help you or it'll handicap you. It'll inhibit you from moving forward. And I created a system to help you figure out this conversation and begin to harness its full potential in moving you forward. And I'm going to give you the 3 steps, very simply, and I'm just going to run through them. Discover. Discover is the first step. You have to discover what it is that you're saying about yourself. You have to be aware. You have to pay attention. You have to pay attention to what it is that you're saying about you in relationship to your home life, your family life, your relationship with family and friends, and the actions you have to take at work and your workmates. It's about all of that. Again, I said this conversation is constantly going on. You can't begin to control this conversation if you don't know what it is. It's that simple. Second thing, defy. Defy in this case means that once you discover negative self-talk, a negative conversation going on in your head. Now, let me define a negative conversation. Iffy, I'll try, I can't do this, that'll never happen, this isn't something that I feel that I can accomplish. Now, you may not be saying that out loud and you might, of course, be verbalizing this to other people, family, friends, or whatever, or workmates. However, if you have thoughts in your head that are doubtful thoughts about what you can accomplish, about what you can do, that affects your self-image, right? And if you feel, hey, I'm stupid, I'm fat, I'm this, I'm that, I can never achieve that exercise level, I can never lose that weight, I can never get healthy, I can't stop doing this, I can't stop doing that, that negative dialogue weighs you down. And it prevents you from moving forward because it creates a mental hurdle that you have to overcome, okay? So you discover what it is that you are saying about yourself. And then you defy. In other words, you stop. I made a pact with myself 30 years ago. I would never say another negative thing about myself ever again. And I do mean ever. So today, it's commonplace. I don't go outside and beat myself up about anything. On the golf course, I don't beat myself up about it at work. I didn't beat myself up about missing the American Wallzone Supply event, your event, because I had to move on. It's all about recovery. It's all about how can you move forward and make something positive out of this. The positive thing is I'm actually making this video for you, which is going to live in perpetuity. You can watch this anytime you want if you need a refresher. Now, the third thing is design. You have to design something new. You go from I could never do that to I can do this. I love the words I can do this. They are so awesome because when you say I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, it just energizes you. When you say, I can't do this, I can't do that, I don't think we're going to make that number this month, guess what? That's debilitating. That's what it is. Again, it's a handicap. It's like losing a leg, right? You're not going to be running a 100-yard dash in 9 seconds if you only have one leg, and you're giving yourself one leg. It's an imaginary one leg, but nonetheless, it's one leg. So, again, let me just run through them. Discover, defy, design. That's the 3 steps. So simple. So today, you begin to pay attention to your inner conversation. That's what you do today. What are you saying about yourself? And how does that make you feel? If what you're saying about yourself makes you feel good, enhance self-image. If it makes you feel bad, depress self-image. It's that simple. It doesn't get any more complicated than that. Now, there are a set of words that you can use that can help you design perfect self-talk for yourself. It starts out like this. I am, I can, I have, I will. Okay? Those are the 4 sets of words. When you say, I am this, it is powerful because you're stating who you are in the present moment. I am awesome. There's no reason you can't drive to work and say, I am awesome, I'm making my goals, I'm doing this thing, I'm living this life. Whether it's at work, I'm an excellent family man. I'm a dynamite father. I'm an incredible husband. I'm an amazing boyfriend. Nothing wrong with that. That's positive self-talk, baby. Those are affirmations that take you from here to there. They make you feel amazing. It's your life. Why should you beat yourself up about it? Why not pick yourself up by your own bootstraps every day, in every moment? There's no reason why. I am this. I can do that. I will make this happen. I have this. I have got this. No worries. That's purposeful language. It's purposeful. You see, there's purposeful and intentional language, and then there's self-defeating language. You want to do more of this purposeful and intentional language. Begin to control that inner conversation. Now, I'm going to give you 7 words that you need to stop using right this moment. Right this moment. These words should not be part of your self-talk. None of that inner conversation about you. When you're referring to you and the actions you have to take, things you have to do, whatever. Leave these words out. These words are, ready? Never, can't, tough, difficult, impossible, try, and hard. Okay? Those are the words you want to completely leave out of your self-talk vocabulary. Now, why is this the case? You never want to say these words about yourself, refer to yourself as, oh, I'll never do that, I can't do that, that's too tough, that's too hard. I hear this all the time. It's going to be hard. Now, what do you say instead? Just call everything a challenge. It's that simple. It's going to be challenging to do that. However, I know I can get it done. I can do this. It's going to be a challenge. I can do this. Right? How hard is that? How difficult is that to just be intentional and purposeful? And here's what happens when you do. If you think about it, when you say, I don't know if I can do that, you're focusing on the problem. Okay? You're not solution focused. When you say, I can do that, what you do is you actually open the door to how you can get it done. You see, the other has you mired in the problem, stuck in the mud, wallowing around in the issue. This, when you say, I can do this, I can make this happen, I will make this happen, you start thinking about, your mind starts thinking how I can make this happen. Either I can do this. Now, if you're any team, any professional team, and you're down by 10 points and you've only got 2 minutes left to go in the game, what's the coach doing? He's figuring out how you can get it done. He's running plays. He's thinking, okay, we can do this. Who's hot? Who's not? How can I get this done? How can we get these 10 points plus on the board and keep them from making more points so we can win this game? That's what's happening, right? It's going on all the time. When I watch a game, this is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing this whole global aspect of what's going on, the macro vision of what the coach is doing and how he's getting it done or not getting it done. Point is, taking the steps in that direction are what's important. Taking the steps in that direction to get things done, that is what's important. Having that mindset. If you collectively as a team at American Wallzone Supply are saying, we've got this. Our customers are the best. Our suppliers are the most awesome people. We are the most awesome people. The people that walk through that door, we give them the top-notch customer service. I know I'm the person that can get this job done. I have my part. Everybody's got a part. Everybody's playing their part, but everybody collectively has a winning self-image and attitude. And they back it up with a purposeful and intentional inner conversation. Purposeful self-talk, baby. That's what it's about. So it's, we can do this together. I've got this. Collectively, it's we've got this. If you're all together, big rah-rah session. However, when you break apart, everybody individually has to believe, I can do this. I can get this done. We can make this happen. I can get this done. Okay? Now, part of self-talk involves how you got to the negative side of things. There are doom merchants, I call them, doomsayers, right? Doom and gloom. People who spread doom and gloom. I don't know if that's going to happen and it'll never happen. We'll give it a try, but I don't think so. I don't think we can get that done. There's always naysayers. There's always going to be somebody. You may have somebody in your family, it's like that. Every time you have an idea, they're pouring, water on your fire. That's what they do. And there are people like this. I know them. I do my best to avoid them. I do my best to understand that I don't have any say in why they do what they do, and I don't waste my time and energy trying to get them to change. I might bring up to them, hey, are you aware of the fact that you're always in a doom and gloom situation? That you always pour, water on the fire I'm creating? I'll never be able to get this bonfire going if you keep pouring water on it. So, a lot of the times I just keep ideas to myself. I keep my self-talk private because it's my self-talk. Nobody else is going to rain on my parade. The thing that I'm talking about that makes things negative are thought viruses. Thought viruses. Thought viruses are negative thoughts from doom merchants, or you may hear something in the news, you may hear something from a family member, from a friend, somebody at work, that, it's very simple. You adopt it as your own. So you say, well, you walk into work, you got something that needs to be done, and someone shouts out, you know what, that'll never happen because blah, 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 blah. Now you have a choice at that particular moment. You can believe that and contract that virus and let it color every decision you make and every thought you make going forward, or you can say, that's a thought virus, I'm shutting that out of my mind altogether. Thought viruses are incredibly powerful, and each of you in the room is probably operating right now under the guise of 25 to 50 thought viruses. Things you've been told in the past that couldn't be done, couldn't be possible. Listen, the 4-minute mile you couldn't run a sub 4-minute mile was a thought virus that was believed for many decades until an Englishman did it. He ran a sub 4-minute mile. Once that sub 4-minute mile was accomplished, the thought virus was blown out of the water. A 100-yard dash can never be done in less than 10 seconds. Another thought virus. No one's ever done it, so quite frankly, it can never be done. The world is flat. That was a huge thought virus. World is flat. Here's another one. You guys are going to love this. Tiger Woods had the entire golfing world, every professional, under the guise of a thought virus. Every time he went out, in his heyday, up to 2008, of course, in his heyday, when he won 70 plus tournaments, every time he went to the course, he had everybody else convinced, because he was there, that he was going to win. Everybody was under this huge thought virus. They thought, I can't win. I'm playing for second. That was the thought virus. I'm playing for second. We're talking about guys that had just as much as talent as Tiger. The problem is, they had this thought virus in their head. It colored every thought they made, every move, every decision. They thought they were playing for second. And if you think you're playing for second, then that's what happens. How does this come in terms of self-image? My gosh, if somebody tells you that if you were told that you were fat way back when, and that you'll never be able to lose that weight, you'll never be able to get healthy, you're just a chubby kid. If you were told that at some particular point back in time, it's still with you. You haven't dispelled it. It's coloring everything you do. It comes up. It comes up when you're looking to exercise, or when it comes to eating something. Your what you eat, how you eat, when you eat. It's there in the back of your mind. It's there in the back of your mind working on you. Unless you say to yourself, hey, that's a thought virus. Somebody told me that once. That's pure garbage. I could do anything I want to do. I can make this body into anything. That's how you start to propel yourself away from the thought virus into something purposeful and intentional. Thought viruses are huge, my friend. They are absolutely huge. Time is money. You'll never make that happen. You'll never get there. That truck will never get here on time. That supply, that supplier, they don't do that anymore. They can't get it here. Thought virus. Let's figure out, let's not let our lives and image be controlled by thought viruses. Let's let them be controlled by ourselves and our intentions and our purpose in life. Thought viruses, they're huge, okay? For you want to pay attention to thought viruses. That's the key. Pay attention. Pay attention to thought viruses. Ferret them out. Figure out what thought viruses you're operating under. A professional team that goes up against Brady next year, guess what? In the back of their minds, they may be thinking, this team's won 2 Super Bowls or 3 Super Bowls or 5 Super Bowls. This is a dynasty. There's no way we can beat this team. Huge thought virus. You're not going to find a coach in the world that's going to plant that thought into the head of their players. Not going to happen. Okay? So, enough about thought viruses. Basically, at this particular point, what I've done is kind of run down the things that are most important in terms of your self-image. And I just want to recap them very quickly. First is, obviously, self-talk. Self-talk is huge. It's what you think and say about yourself in relationship to the world around you and what you have to do. Very simple. Discover, defy, design. That's how you work yourself through to redesign, to assess and redesign your self-talk. Okay? It's very, very important. The 7 words. Stop using them. Never, can't, try, impossible, hard, tough, difficult. Those words. Stop using them. They handicap you. They debilitate you. They're self-defeating. Okay? Thought viruses. Become aware of them. That's pretty much the extent of what I wanted to tell you today. Now, I welcome your questions. If you have any, my email is inquiry@michaeljruss.com. And if you have any comments about this talk that I've given you, please, I want to hear from you. It's very important that we have clarity. What Fred was talking about at this event, he's an awesome guy. I read the whole script of what he came up with. My gosh, the awesome stories that he told you that help illustrate his points. I hope you're paying attention to this guy. You can learn something from him. I've learned something from him. I've learned that there's someone out there who really, really cares enough about their people to put this event, this Wallzone event on and bring suppliers in and educate you. He's always interested in you being the best. He is your coach. He is your coach. You are the players. He wants you to be the best that you can be. And when you're the best that you can be, your team is the best that it can be. Cohesive conversation. Everybody has to be on the same page. Everyone has to be on the same page. My name is Michael J. Russ, and I thank you so much for this opportunity. And remember, your life is something that you make. So don't just let it happen. Make it happen. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.